What's up everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this music video editing breakdown, we're taking a look at Logic's new music video, Contra, and just picking out some of my favorite visual effects, showing you guys some ideas on how to do something similar in Adobe Premiere Pro, or pointing you to some tutorials that I've already made that talk about similar looks and similar effects, so you can have more tools in your own editing arsenal. So before we begin this video, make sure you leave a like on it below. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos and you can catch these replays live in action. And follow me on Instagram at Justin Odisho. I post when I go live on my story as well. So this video is actually directed by Mike Holland, so shout out to him. Go show him some love. This is his Instagram, and you can see some behind the scenes that he posted. I believe he's worked with Logic on several projects, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, go show him some love, put the video together, and thank you to everyone else that has made this video come together. I can't really see anyone else's names in the descriptions though. So some things that I want to talk about in this video. Firstly, the main kind of like visual, one of my favorite things in it is that lens hood vignetting that's happening. So around the corners here, we can actually see those black lines on the edges. It's kind of like a circular fisheye lens crop, but we're not really getting a lot of wide angle distortion either. So I am going to show you how to recreate this in Premiere Pro, but most likely I actually believe that this was actually a result of something that was on the actual camera intentionally. So for example, if we go to about 34 seconds in the video, we can see this is why I think that the lens vignetting is real, because if you look at the corner of the edges, you can see it's not just a black artificial shadow. It's moving, it's shaking, and it actually is being affected by the lighting in the scenario. So if you have like a lens, you know, here's a lens. If you have a lens that perhaps is a little bit more wide angle, or you purposely attach a longer type of lens hood or filter on the end, sometimes when you're shooting, your camera will pick up the blurriness of some of that, create some vignetting. So I think that is most likely what's going on in the majority of these shots. Additionally, in the beginning, you can see it's only happening on one end, the left side. So yeah, that's why I think you're actually seeing the lens hood or whatever they have attached to the camera. But if you are trying to recreate this in Premiere Pro, for example, it's actually pretty simple. I have a random clip on the timeline of this car driving down the highway. And if I head to the effects control panel and just click the circle ellipse mask for opacity, as long as there's nothing underneath, I can create a circle mask and just expand that mask out pretty far, and also include a lot of feather, or actually just a little bit of feather, and you can create a simple vignette on the edge. You can go through and add fisheye distortion if you want, or other things, but that's a simple way to recreate something like this in post if you didn't shoot it like that. Next, I also wanted to talk about some of the blue color flashing and glitch cutting that's going on. There's a lot of stylistic visual effects. So you could see along with this fisheye scene, right? We have this segment right here where everything starts to jittery flash in blue. Now there's so many different ways that you can create color flashes. It's almost there's more than one way to do it, so it's almost impossible to tell exactly how they did it or what the right way would be. But it just involves keyframing, so you could do it with strobe effects or color effects. But if I went into Premiere Pro once again and I headed over to the effects panel and search for one called let's just actually open the video effects folder, open the color correction folder, and let's do channel mixer in this case, right? So I'll drag that onto the clip and you'll see it pop up in the effects control panel on the right hand side, and I can add some keyframes to a few of these to toggle animation. So let's add some keyframes to the blues. Actually, you know what? Let me just turn keyframes on for everything. And then I'll move over slightly. And then I'll adjust some of these settings. So let me turn things up and down to get a similar blue look. We got a similar blue look. We could add some more contrast. Obviously, you know, there's dozens of ways to affect the color of something. But okay, boom, we created a brighter blue look, kind of similar to what's going on there, a little bit more strong in this case, but I can move over another few frames and then click this arrow to reset everything back to its original parameters. Channel mixer is a bit intricate of an effect, but then I'll just copy, Control C, Control V, paste those a few times. And if I play that, you'll see we create a bit of a blue flicker. Now, obviously it's going way too slow. So what I would do is squeeze all these keyframes way more close to each other, but you get the idea. That's just one method to create a flash. There's dozens and dozens of methods, but keyframes are going to be important in most of those. Look into the strobe and the strobe effect as well, which I'm going to start pointing you guys to some useful tutorials. So it's going a little bit too slow, but you get the idea. I'll just keep squeezing them in so it's literally frame by frame. Now, another thing that's happening in the video that I think is interesting is while it's flashing, you're also getting this jittery motion. Like, it's not a smooth shot. He's kind of flickering, stuttering. And I'm just going to point you guys actually to a tutorial that I've already done in the past called How to Glitch, Cut, Edit. And it was actually, I made the tutorial inspired by something that I saw in Fight Club, the movie, but it's a similar look to get that jittery edit, and then you can add a blue color flash in it. Another thing that's really cool in this video is the film looks, like the film and grain overlays and the film leaders. If we actually take it back all the way to the beginning, you can see it starts off with this, and this is sometimes called a film leader. So basically that piece of film that starts the roll. It says like calibration, picture, whatever, but it can be used, it's actually used very often as a stylistic effect now. And I actually have a tutorial that goes over this more step by step rather than just show you guys here. Head over to my 5 sick music video editing effects tutorial, and I talk about film leaders as the second effect, and also strobes, so you can get similar looks. I'll show you. So see how those film leaders are coming through. You can get similar looks and get the idea of how to cut those and apply them within your footage and blend them to do similar things. And also this will help you with the color flashes as well. So this is a very valuable video for, I think, for anyone who's trying to look at cool music video effects. These 5, I think, are pretty standard, I think. Well, let's keep it going. So we've talked about the blue flashes, the film leader, the vignetting, and the lens hood thing. Another thing that you see in this video is some of that VHS look. So we stop it like right here. You see it cuts to these like VHS looks, and there's also dozens of different VHS looks and distortions that you can find. I would recommend checking through some tutorials on YouTube. I personally have a few different tutorials. Here's one on how to create a VHS camcorder look. Here's another one on how to do an old film overlay application. I'll leave links to all of these in the description. I'm going to leave links to everything I mentioned. Here's another one I made on Super 8 film looks. And I have a ton of glitch effects that you can incorporate for similar looks as this. So I'll leave links to those. Like I said, you can also see some of this VHS action coming in around like this part as well. Some of these also you might be able to actually, you know, grab an old camcorder off eBay and actually get VHS footage if you really want to go the distance. So it's hard to tell nowadays whether something is really VHS or just an effect, but that's being incorporated in this one. It's also giving me some of that Childish Gambino, This Is America vibes with the warehouse and all the kids and the fire. Maybe it's just me. I think it gives me some of those vibes. Another thing that's in here that I can point out is a bit of light leaks. So that bright flash of color, or, you know, it kind of looks like a light leak. It's when it's like that reddish yellow bright flash of color. So I have tutorials on this not only in Photoshop for your photography, but I also have tutorials on how to apply light leaks on your footage. So again, I'll leave a link to that in the description. This is a little bit more gentle than you're seeing in the video, but basically you can find all types of these film leaders and light leak footage as resources and blend them and apply them on your clips on top. So there are some resources out there. I've tried to link them in these videos, and I'm also, stay tuned, working on more resources like that to put to my own web shop, justinodisho.com/shop. So between all of those different distortions and cuts, you have, all those stylistic things, the VHS, the blue flashes, the lens hood thing. I think those are my favorite visual effects from a video editing perspective. I'm not talking about cinematography or set design or lighting, anything like that. There's obviously a lot more different stuff going on there. It was also kind of interesting. I don't know why they had to blur out a lot of stuff when he was driving. I'm not sure why exactly they blurred all that out, if it was a legal issue or I don't know why, but maybe that's a separate tutorial for a separate day, masking, but I do have tutorials on masking. And that's going to wrap up my take on some of the different visual effects in this Logic video and how to do them. So shout out to Logic, shout out to Mike Holland, shout out to you guys for watching. I did want to say, if you are interested in visual effects and you want to just be able to easily drag and drop stuff and you don't feel like tinkering and playing around with stuff, I do actually have my own video effects preset pack if you're an Adobe Premiere Pro user. So just to show you, it's the Justin Odisho preset pack. I'll leave a link in the description. You can find it on justinodisho.com/shop. And I have 40+ effects and transitions, and you can mix and match them to do your own editing at a drag and drop pace. So for example, I actually have a fisheye lens preset, and it automatically adds like a fisheye look, even adds a little bit of distortion. I also have like a flickering effect. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, from abstract to basic to transitions. I just thought I'd mention that, show it to you for anyone that's interested. I think that'll wrap it up for this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave a link to the original video so you guys can check out that Logic Contra music video and check it out for yourself. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. DM me, let me know what you thought. Request the next music video editing breakdown, and check out some of the previous ones on my channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.